let's talk about growing pains. And I'm not talking about growing pains like personally, I'm talking about company growing pains. Sometimes you have a small company, and because they're doing such a great job, or they hit this big contract, they grow really, really fast. And they have a mom and pop mentality at the time, and that becomes a huge issue. You need to plan, right, for what you're gonna experience. And even if you don't plan, when you start experiencing the growing pains, at that time you need to take remediation actions, right? You shouldn't be reactive, but let's be honest, many companies are reactive. They don't plan ahead, and even when they see stuff happening, they acknowledge stuff is happening, but yet they don't want to do anything about it. That's when you start having many headaches, and instead of being productive every day, you are managing a lot of people issues, not only internally but externally as well. You lose clients, you lose employees. That all translates into losing money. The same thing happens when you're growing so fast that you want to hire cheap labor, and you know you're underpaying these employees. You know that you're taking advantage of a special situation this employee or this potential employee is facing, and yet you still offer them a base salary which is non-competitive. At the end, the person may accept the job. You spend many hours training this person. Not only are you spending the time, this person is not being as productive as you would expect them, because there's a growing curve, right? They have to learn certain business rules in order to really be productive. And then you have other employees who are also helping this new employee adapt to the business, to the culture, to the people. And when you start adding all of those costs up, you are losing productivity, you're stressing other employees out, you are spending way too much money on an employee that you are most likely gonna lose, or is gonna be part of the company for a really short period of time because you're not paying them enough. Once that employee becomes good and they get another offer, you lose them. So that's one of the things that happens, right? When you don't plan, or you think you're being slicked, you're so smart, you're bringing all these people in, but at the same time, when you bring a lot of people in to a company, you need to have a plan to work with these people. You need to know exactly what you expect them to do. If you're looking for good professionals like to have a path to follow. They need to know the goals, what is expected of them, right? Of course, they'll have initiative, but what kind of initiative are they expected to take? Many employees don't even know. That's very frustrating. Then on the other hand, you have external clients which are being affected by the same thing. You don't have a plan to work with so many clients. There are no controls in place. You're still thinking mom and dad, the volume of calls is minimum, or you're used to X amount of calls per day. Now you have double or triple the calls. Your employees are not providing the right information because they don't have the right training. Sometimes it's worth taking a step back, looking at what your growing pains are, and then make a plan. It doesn't have to be a big plan. You know that you have to go somewhere. You know where you want to be. At least I would expect you to know that piece of information. So let's start tracing a path, right? Let's do it in little chunks. Maybe you have 20 employees who come in, and then that person, you train one person, and then that person is the go-to person in that department. So when new employees come in, right, they'll be the teacher. And that's nothing new. So you end up spending less money that way, and you're more productive. Instead of having many people working with new employees. That way also, when that person is working with these employees every day, they can immediately tell you if there's potential in them, or you know what, this is not going to work out. So you can take remediation actions. So you can talk to the employee beforehand. Don't, be fair. Don't wait 90 days to tell the employee, you know what, this is really not working out, to evaluate them. Let them know what they're doing wrong, within a short period of time. Give them the chance to fix any issues they may be having. And with clients, when you make a mistake, mistakes cost money. You don't want to be losing a lot of clients. And clients are so, the marketing around clients is so potential. There's no marketing agency that can do what a client can do. Word of mouth is something that is critical. And especially when you're growing. And other companies take advantage of the fact that you are going through growing pains. Right? And you want to be smart about it. So when a client has a legit complaint, address it. See what is it that you guys can do to make it better. Right? And at the minimum, if you tell a client you're going to contact them and speak to them, please do so. Don't let them, just waiting for this email or this call that never happens. Because I think that's one of the worst things for a client. So, growing pains is something that we all go through in our personal lives and, company-wise. Whether it's bringing one new employee to a department or an area, or whether it's bringing 800, 1,000 employees. Because now, lucky for you, you have this big contract. But you want to keep the contract. You want to keep making good business. You want to keep growing. So let's try to minimize growing pains by creating a plan. Again, the plan doesn't have to be huge. As long as you know where you want to be, really high level, then we can make really small tasks, really small plans within those huge plans to make great things happen. So, just think about it. I'm sure there's a lot of people also within the company that are willing to help out. They don't want to be stressed out all the time about all the situations that are happening. You don't want to be consumed by all this complaints internal about how we're not doing this, how now this is so stressful for me, how I'm not giving the information, how my managers are not doing what they're supposed to do. You want to keep your employees, at least the good ones, right? And you want to know what are their strengths and their weaknesses, and accommodate employees where they need to be or where they'll be of better served within a company, especially when you're growing, because now you have other departments, other areas, other responsibilities. Maybe that employee will do a better job somewhere else, just given the opportunity, and see how it works out. Again, all comes with a plan, and the price you pay up front is way smaller than the one you're gonna pay at the end if you don't plan. Have a nice day. Bye bye.